Hello everybody and welcome to another week of Makers Monday. I am Anastasia Radloff, aka Stampin' Blondie, and I'm back with you for another week of live step-by-step crafting. I hope you guys had an amazing last 2 weeks. There was no Makers Monday last week. I was on vacation to celebrate my 40th birthday. I spent a few days in Disney World with my best friend, and then we went on a cruise together to the Bahamas, so it was really nice and warm, and it was really nice to just put some shorts and flip-flops back on. I miss that in the cold weather here, so it was really nice to kind of get out and just have some warm weather again. So I'm just making sure that I'm live over on Facebook and also on YouTube. If you're watching, make sure to comment, say hi, let me know where you're watching from. It's always fun to see where everybody is joining me from each week. Hello, Courtney over on YouTube. I hope you had a great day. Carol over on Facebook, thank you for watching. Now today I'm going to be creating 3 projects featuring the Friendly Seagulls stamp set. This is from Sale-a-bration, which runs through the end of this month. And if you aren't too familiar with what Sale-a-bration is, it's Stampin' Up's biggest promotion that they host in January and February each year. Now I have a couple of quick announcements to go over before we jump into our projects. So let's go ahead and swap the camera and get started. All right, so the first thing, the deadline to register for Winter Stampin' Bingo is coming up this Saturday. So if you are interested in playing, no matter where you live in the United States, you can play Stampin' Bingo with me. It's my customers' favorite event that I host, and it's mine too. I love Stampin' Bingo. So Stampin' Bingo will be held on Saturday, February 22nd. Like I said, the deadline though to register is coming up this Saturday, February 8th. There'll be 7 rounds of bingo. We'll do make and take projects. You'll get a product goodie bag. We have bingo fun, door prizes, and it's just a really fun event to attend. If you are interested in attending or learning more about Stampin' Bingo, there's a link in the description of this video that has all the details on what you'll get in your goodie bag and for how to register. So no matter where you live in the United States, you can register for Stampin' Bingo, but the deadline to sign up for that is coming up this Saturday for Stampin' Bingo. It's a really fun event. I love Stampin' Bingo, held virtually, so no matter where you live, you can join in. Okay, next up is my February Club Craft and Create. So February Club Craft and Create features the Fruit Salad Designer Series paper. So I'm kind of switching things up for Club Craft and Create this month. Normally I focus on a bundle or a stamp set, but this month I'm focusing on Designer Series paper. This Designer Series paper is so fun and colorful that I really wanted to create some projects with this. Now the best part about this month's Club Craft and Create is we are actually doing no stamping. So if you are a beginner crafter, somebody looking for really easy, simple projects to put together, no matter what skill level you are. So even if you are an avid crafter who loves putting projects together, every now and then we need some simple projects that are quick and easy to put together. So Club Craft and Create, you can register for 1 month. You can sign up continuously, however many times you want to sign up. This is a reoccurring subscription class, but like I said, you can sign up for 1 month and cancel as well. So no matter what, you can sign up for Club Craft and Create. The projects, you get 8 projects, 4 different designs to each of those different designs. And I'm just gonna do kind of a quick little flash of the project so you can see what we're creating. So that's what you get to see right there. Now this also features the pre-printed sentiments. So there you will get a ton of sentiments to also use on other projects after Club Craft and Create's over. So the deadline to register for that is coming up Saturday as well. So we have 2 events that close out on Saturday, Winter Stampin' Bingo and also Club Craft and Create. So deadline to register for that is this Saturday. Link in the description of the video. You can learn all about Club Craft and Create and what it entails. So I'm looking forward to this class. I really like these projects. Like I said, quick and easy to put together. You don't even have to use the same sentiments that I do because you'll get that sentiment packet. You can mix and match whatever sentiments you want. So you can really customize this however you would like. All right, now I mentioned Sale-a-bration earlier. So here's the Sale-a-bration brochure. If you aren't too familiar with what Sale-a-bration is, we are featuring the Friendly Seagulls stamp set from Sale-a-bration today. And Sale-a-bration is Stampin' Up's largest promotion. They host it every January, February, and for every $60 you spend, you get to choose an item out of the Sale-a-bration brochure for free. Now there's everything in here from stamp sets, designer series paper, ribbon, there's an embossing folder, and then there's actually a bundle as well for those higher orders that you may have on your list too. Now, also with Sale-a-bration, it's not just about getting stuff out of the catalog for free. If you have ever had a long wish list and you want to fulfill that long wish list, Sale-a-bration is the best time to do that. You can sign up as a demonstrator on the Stampin' Blondie team, and during Sale-a-bration through the end of this month, you get to choose one of 2 different options to add on to your starter kit. So option number 1 is that you get to choose one of the 2 Stampin' Write marker bundles. We have subtles, regals, neutrals, and brights, and you get to choose 2 of those marker kits out of the 4. You also could get the Handmade Designs exclusive stamp set. Now, if those 2 aren't on your wish list or you already have the Stampin' Write markers, option number 2 is that you can add on $30 additional to your starter kit. So $155 worth of product for $99, free shipping, and this runs through the end of the month. So like I said, if your wish list is over $99, Sale-a-bration is the best time to become a demonstrator. You don't have to sell any products. You don't have to teach any classes, do Facebook Lives, host any events. You can be what I like to call a happy shopper and get a discount on all of your future Stampin' Up supplies. I have demonstrators all over the country that are on my team, and I have a mixture of both business-minded demonstrators and happy shopper demonstrators, so I welcome all to the team. Okay, yes, Courtney, new release of Sale-a-bration items are being debuted tomorrow. So more Sale-a-bration items are coming. I think I may have had a little sneak peek of some of them from the Australia website earlier today. I don't know if they'll be the same items here in the United States, but more Sale-a-bration items will be released starting tomorrow. So very fun. I'm excited for that. Okay, the last thing I have before we jump into our projects here, let me get these out of the way. Put that there. Prize Patrol. So 2 weeks ago, I did my birthday celebration, Makers Monday, where we created projects making the birthday celebration stamp set, and it was in honor of my 40th birthday. Now, for celebration, or not celebration, for my Prize Patrol 2 weeks ago, I was giving away a priority mailbox full of Stampin' supplies. So we've got designer series paper, stamp sets, embellishments, everything you can think of in this box. So the winner of our priority medium flat rate box of Stampin' Up supplies is Peggy Barth. So congratulations, Peggy. Thank you for sharing my video. Thank you for watching my video. You are this week's Prize Patrol winner. I have your address unless you've moved recently, so I'm excited to get that in the mail for you. Now, this week's Prize Patrol I am excited about because this was one of my favorite designer series papers that we had back in the day. This is the Golden Honey designer series paper One side of it has these beautiful bee designs, honeycombs with gold foiling. The other side is black and white, so perfect for a lot of occasions. And you get a ton of this designer series paper in here. So this is our prize patrol this week. All you have to do is share the video, comment that you shared, and you'll be entered into prize patrol. Thank you everybody for watching each week, and thank you for sharing my videos. All right, so this week, like I mentioned, I am featuring the Friendly Seagulls stamp set. Now, what drew me into this is, you guys all know, if you watch me, I love a stamp set that has not only images and sentiments to go along with it. I love punny. So punny sentiments. This one is really great because it says, I love you more than French fries. And then this little seagull here has some French fries in his mouth. Now they also have the word chips on here because Stampin' Up! Is a global company. So you could put on here, I love you more than chips. But these little seagulls are so fun, and especially now that I live by the ocean, it is a great stamp set to have. It is a photopolymer stamp set, meaning it's completely see-through and clear. You can see exactly where you're stamping. It is a set of 12 stamps that is an option for redemption during Sale-a-bration. Now, yesterday on my website, Facebook, Instagram, all the good stuff, I posted this card. So this one features the little guys on like a dock, the dock pillars. So this one was a really fun project to create. I took a piece of new designer series paper. This is from the scrapbook release that was last month, and cut it straight down the middle so I could create the same project and flip my designer series paper on here. Did a couple of the little seagull stamps in the background, and I really made these little guys pop with some pool party Stampin' Blends. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that when we get to another project. So this was on the website yesterday. Now today, we're gonna be creating 3 more projects, and don't forget, on my website, stampinblondie.com, I have the project PDF that has all of the item numbers, the prices, and the item names of the items that I'm using here today. So you can figure out what I used exactly on my projects, and I offer this as a class kit to go as well. So if you're liking these projects and you want to place an order of $35 on my website, right here at the bottom, I will send you this week's class kit to go as well. So they come in a class kit like this. No stamped images, unfortunately, due to Stampin' Up! Policy, but you can place an order of $60 and add on the Friendly Seagulls, and then you can create my exact projects here today. Okay, so this is one of the cards. I had to create a I love you more than French fries card. It's so fun with the little boxes of French fries, the seagulls. You always go to the beach and the seagulls are stealing your food. So I would assume that this little guy stole some French fries from some people at the beach. Now, we also love here, I love the movie Finding Nemo, and the little seagulls where they're like, mine, mine, mine. When I saw this little seagull with his mouth open, all I could think of was that, but there's a stamp to go with it. So I did chips, 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 like give me all the chips. So this little guy was so cute, and that's how I'm gonna show you how we're gonna create that fun blue background to make him kind of pop a little bit more. And then this project here, if you go search the Friendly Seagulls stamp set on the Stampin' Up! Website, you will see this project. And let me check if it's in the Sale-a-bration brochure too. Yes, actually it is. So this card right here, I created a variation of it. So you can see, here's my take on that project. So using the Sale-a-bration brochure, the mini catalog, the annual catalog is a great way to get inspiration for your next project too. So this is the card. Now I didn't have everything on there that Stampin' Up! Shows, so I just kind of modified it to create with what I had in my craft supply. So this is what sparked my inspiration for this last card too. Courtney says they love cheese puffs too. It sounds like you know from experience that seagulls like cheese puffs. They're some crafty little buggers, I tell you. I saw some flying around yesterday. It was we got some snow last night, and it's all gone today, thankfully. But I saw some seagulls just flying around. It was weird to see seagulls with it snowing at the same time. It's very strange. Okay, we're gonna jump into our projects now. So we're gonna work on this one first here. So this one features the Berry Burst cardstock. So we're gonna grab that out here, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Get my bone folder out and crisp up my line. There we go. Now this is the new, let me get my paper out so I can tell you the right term for this one. Beautiful Bokeh Designer Series paper. This is a online exclusive offering, I think. So this is not found in any of the catalogs. This is a 3" by 4.5 piece of paper, and I'm just going to glue that right onto my card base. I'm gonna use my Stampin' Seal for this. So we're not gonna put it right in the middle of our card. We're gonna kind of put it down towards the bottom a little bit and right there. So not directly right in the middle. We're gonna stamp some of those seagulls. So this stamp set has these seagulls here. We're gonna stamp them 3 times using Berry Burst ink, just in this kind of upper right corner here. So we're gonna just stamp. And I'm just kind of randomly stamping these along here. And I think I just put, nope, okay. I thought I put my finger in the ink pad. We averted a crisis there, especially with Berry Burst ink. Okay, I have a piece of basic white cardstock. This was pre-die cut using the Stylish Shapes dies, and we're gonna give it a little bit of that sea background. So I have my mini Stampin' or blending brush, mini blending brush, and we're gonna use Pull Party ink and just a piece of scrap grid paper. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna ink up our brush, kind of tap it off the side. Because these are not flat, you want to tap it off a little bit just because the ink can pull right at the top there. And we're just going to lightly rub it across the bottom half of our die cut circle. We don't want to go too dark with it. We just want to give the illusion that there's some water back there so that he's not just floating around in a white circle there. So we're just gonna add some color here to our circle. And the best thing about these blending brushes is that you can layer them. So depending on how dark you wanna go, you can just add more and more color and it'll just pop as much as you want. All right, that's good. Just a little bit of color in the background there. Okay, next we're gonna take a spare piece of basic white cardstock. This is a great way to use up some of those little scraps that we have all around our craft room. So we're gonna stamp the seagull that, the one that has his mouth shut. This one has French fries, this one's squawking, this one's just kind of looking off to the side. So we're gonna stamp him using Tuxedo Black Memento ink because we're gonna color him in with Stampin' Blends. When you use Stampin' Blends, you wanna make sure that you use Tuxedo Black ink. I've mentioned it before, the theory of stinky versus non-stinky. Stampin' Blends are stinky because they're alcohol-based markers. And then your ink pad is non-stinky. Now this is not condoning you to go huff your craft supplies, but you can tell that it has a little bit of a scent to it when you open them up. So we're gonna use Dark Pumpkin Pie for his legs. Now, when you use Stampin' Blends, always make sure your workspace is covered because it can bleed through your paper depending on how heavy of a hand you have. So you just wanna make sure that everything is covered. I've got Dark Daffodil Delight for his beak and Light Smoky Slate just for this little kind of swoosh on his wing. There we go. Now, unfortunately, there aren't any dies to go along with this, so we are going to fussy cut him out. Now, the best part about this is that he is very easy to cut out because he's all like rounded edges. Now with fussy cutting, you can get as detailed as you want. I like to leave a little bit of a white edge around my image. I don't cut directly on the black line. So you can see I'm holding the paper, holding my scissors straight, and I'm turning the paper with my left hand. That works best for me to get control of cutting the image. But if you like to fussy cut a different way, you can fussy cut however you want. Now the hardest part is his little tiny legs. You don't want to cut them off because they're so thin. Now I don't go up in between because it's so thin that I just leave that way. Okay, we also have a piece of crumb cake cardstock, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna create that little pier piece where the end of the dock where they like to sit. So we are just a spare piece of cardstock. This is 1/2 inch wide. I didn't count how long it is because I'm gonna cut half of it off anyways. So we're just going to stick that right in the middle of our circle. And then we want this to be flush with the bottom. So you can see here, it rounds with our die. So we're just gonna make sure that's on there, flip our paper over, and then trim it up. There you go. Then you have that little pier piece. Okay, that's gonna go on with Stampin' Dimensionals. We're gonna flip that over. Use these edge pieces of dimensionals. They work great still. And this is gonna go more in the middle of our card. Our seagull's gonna go on with a dimensional as well. Oh, that one may be too big, let's see. Yeah, perfect actually. And he's gonna sit right at the top there. Our sentiment piece, this is Summer Splash cardstock, probably my favorite color that we have right now. It reminds me of Tranquil Tide that we used to have. And we're gonna stamp our sentiment, and it's gonna say, "Hey friend," just in regular black ink, our tuxedo black again. Right in the middle here. Hello, Penny, Nancy. Hope you guys are doing well. The pier beam would be great embossed in the timber folder. That, and then the example that they had in the Sale-a-bration catalog, they used like a, I can't remember the name of it, but it's like ocean waves. That's what they used. I don't have that embossing folder, so I just made it instead with the bokeh paper, which I had. So I think it's good to use what you have and kind of modify, even if you don't have everything in the sample projects, you can still modify and make the project yours with what you have in your supply. Or you can add it to your next order, whatever you want to do. So we just stamped our sentiment, cut the edges at an angle, and I'm gonna use basic rhinestones to add a little bit of something to this. So we're gonna add a little bit of bling. I'm using 3 of the large rhinestones. So 2 in the upper left, 1 down here. And there is our first project featuring the Friendly Seagulls stamp set. I really liked this one. It was great to pull inspiration from that catalog. I had created the other projects already, and I was just stumped. I was like, what am I gonna use for my last card? And I was really having a hard time trying to think of something that wasn't, you know, blues, because I've already got another project that's blue and like beige. I wanted something fun, and so this project, I saw that and I was like, this is perfect. We're gonna make that. Okay, so moving on, let me get some of this stuff out of the way. Our next project is gonna be our Chips, Chips, Chips project. So for this one, I really like using these scrap pieces of paper. You know, with me moving this coming summer and wanting to kind of clear out my stash, scraps are a great way to loosen the load of things to move and just use up what I have in my supply. So these are crumb cake and basic white strips. They are 3/8 of an inch, so a little bit smaller than 1/2 of an inch. They're very tiny, and they're 4 inches long. So I just used those. And my card base is balmy blue, a color I don't use very often. So I have a balmy blue card base and a balmy blue layer, and we're gonna put our card base off to the side first because we're gonna work on that kind of boardwalk design here. So we've got our strips of crumb cake and basic white. I just kind of want to organize them a little bit. And we're going to start with just lining them up on our paper. I don't want to glue anything down just yet. And I'm doing that to make sure that my spacing is good. I want to make sure that I have them kind of lined up how I want them. I'm offsetting each one, so it's going to be a different pattern. So we're going to just kind of move this back and forth and get different designs here. Hello, Tanya from Illinois. How are you today? I'm sad that you can't come to Stampin' Bingo. I got your email. Sorry I didn't respond. I was on vacation, but I didn't have internet while I was on the ship. So, well, I had internet, but I couldn't send emails. I could only text. So I hope you had a good weekend. I'm sorry you won't be able to join us, but that's okay. There'll be one more Stampin' Bingo before I move, so definitely gonna have that. Okay, so I've kind of got my pieces layered a little bit. I may move this down a little bit, but what I'm gonna do is what I do is I take one strip, glue it down, and then I'll add the glue to my layer. But because these layers are offset from each other, I'm gonna have to add glue to the back of each one before I put it down. So definitely multi-purpose liquid glue for this because first off, they're so thin, but then also if they're not straight like that one, I may be off camera, I just wanna make sure it's straight. You have a few seconds to kind of place it where you want it. So now we're just gonna go down the row and put our glue on here. So this is a great card because, like I mentioned, scraps. We all have them in our craft room. We have all these little bits of paper that we don't know what to do with. So it's a great way to use these up, but you can create this in a variety of different colors as well. So like I said, I'm using balmy blue, crumb cake, basic white, and lemon lolly. I don't use lemon lolly very often. It's too light of a yellow for me, but I thought with the colors of the blue and the brown, that yellow would pop out from the colors. So I chose lemon lolly. Daffodil Delight was just a little too bright, so we went with a color I don't tend to use very often. All right. It's a good spring color card though. Color for a card. All right, we're gonna put that one there. And then our last one, this is kind of the most tedious part, is gluing all these little pieces down. But once you have them down, it's a fun little pattern and it's different. It's something unique and you don't see it on a lot of cards like this. Okay, there we go. Now we're gonna add dimensionals to the back of this and we're gonna add that to our card base. So I'm gonna use this little bits of dimensionals here. Now I subscribe to Paper Pumpkin. I don't know if anybody else does. And we got this giant thing of dimensionals. Here's the normal size. Here's what we got in our kit this last month. I wish Stampin' Up! Sold these bigger sheets of dimensionals like all the time. I go through dimensionals so much. It's probably, other than adhesive, like liquid glue, one of the things I put on just about every card that I do. So Stampin' Up! Hear my cries. Sell bigger sheets of dimensionals. Okay, that's gonna go on the front. If I can get it on there straight. There we go. All right, this is the piece of Lemon Lolly cardstock. This is a die cut from the Nested Essentials dies. Didn't want to die cut on screen today because we really don't need to, so I pre-die cut it. Now before I add it down to the card base, I'm gonna stamp that sentiment on here, and we're gonna do chips, 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 like this little guy is screaming out like he wants some chips. So we're gonna do there, here, and there. Just 3 little chips. Now, we're gonna stamp this guy too while I have my tuxedo black open. And we're gonna stamp him on a piece of basic white. All right, bring in our grid paper because we're gonna color him in. And this is the one where I'm gonna show you how to make him pop a little bit more against your paper. So we're gonna take Daffodil Delight for his beak, the same Smoky Slate and Pumpkin Pie for his feet. So we're gonna color that in really quick. These are very easy to color in. You don't have to have a lot of, if I can get this one open, there we go. You don't have to have a lot of markers to color these in. Now the last card, I did use dark Daffodil Delight for his beak. This one I chose the light marker to kind of go along with the Lemon Lolly. There are Lemon Lolly Stampin' Blends, but I just used Daffodil Delight. And the Smoky Slate for the wing. Now to get that to pop around the outside, I'm gonna use my dark Pool Party Stampin' Blend and the, not the brush tip, kind of the pen tip, and we're just gonna go around the edge of the whole image. And you kind of wanna have one continuous motion around the whole thing to kind of fill in those areas. Now I had to lift up my pen there, but you just go around the whole thing there. So you can see, even on this little paper, you can kind of see how he pops. Makes it look like there's a little bit of a background to him. And then all you're gonna do is cut him out. So we're just gonna try to go around the edge of where that Pool Party marker is. And I did this because I didn't want it to just be so stark and plain when he is on this card. When it's just the white with the black around the edge, it just kind of looks flat. This makes it pop a little bit more. We are gonna go in his beak a little bit on this one. And it's easy. You don't have to have really a lot of other supplies. It's just one marker to do this fun little highlighting. Now this part, it depends on fussy cutting. I have my days. Who likes to fussy cut? I mean, I know some people like it. Some people it's therapeutic for them. Give me a die if it's faster. Sometimes it's faster to fussy cut. Sometimes it's faster to get the dies out. But these are easy to cut out. So there is our little seagull guy. Okay, now we can add dimensionals to the back of our sentiment. And that's gonna go above our little boardwalk area that we made here. And our seagull, we're just gonna glue him on with liquid glue because I already have the background popped up, this sentiment piece popped up. I didn't want to do like 3 layers of dimensionals, so just one, the background and then the sentiment piece. And I'm gonna add a clear block on him to kind of hold it in place and let that glue. Now for the bow, I'm gonna use the Baker's Twine Essentials pack. It comes in basic gray, very vanilla, crumb cake, basic black, and basic white. And we're gonna use the crumb cake. I alternate this between this color and the linen thread. The linen thread is good for some projects, but I like this ribbon or thread, twine, whatever you want to call it. I like this one because it's thicker than the linen thread, and so I wanted a little bit more thickness to my ribbon on this project. So we're just gonna pull that tight, straighten it out, and tie this into a bow. Tanya, I did enjoy my birthday trip. It was a lot of fun. I spent way too much money at Disney World, but who doesn't? We had an amazing room. My best friend's birthday is 3 days after mine, and she turned 40 as well. And she booked us a room at the Grand Floridian, which is like their top tier, super mega ultra beautiful resort. And the room she booked us had a view of the castle, and we watched the fireworks from the balcony. So it was amazing to not have to fight the crowds and just enjoy it. And it had free food and free alcohol, and it was amazing. But now I am forever tainted, and I cannot go to Disney without staying in that type of room forever. All right, we're gonna add this on with our mini glue dot, and it's gonna go in the lower right corner of our little flag here. And then we're gonna come in with our rhinestone jewels, and we're gonna add some of the medium-sized jewels. We're gonna add 2 of those, one right there and one right here. And that is our second project today, featuring the Friendly Seagulls stamp set. This is really fun. These little uneven strips of cardstock, this little seagull with his chips. It was a fun card to design and a fun card to make for you guys. So I hope you guys like that one. All right, let's get these. My little rhinestones just like fell everywhere when I pulled them out. Okay, our last project, if I can find it, this one right here. I love you more than French fries. I mean, I love French fries. I don't know, French fries are pretty good. So this one uses not a lot of supplies. We have Basic Beige. This is a new color that Stampin' Up! Debuted in their annual catalog last year. It's a little different because it's not part of any color family. It's not a neutral. It is just kind of out there on its own with Basic Black. Well, it used to be called Basic Black. Basic White. So it doesn't really have a color family it goes with. So Basic Beige, and then I have Basic White cardstock. So we've got that there. We are going to bring in our grid paper because we're going to do some blending right here. Just like that last project that we did, we're going to use our Stampin' Blend blending brush. This is the mini one. I just had some of these mini ones, so I grabbed those. And we are going to blend it on here like it's the sand at the beach. So just a little bit in the middle of our cardstock. Now when you use this ink, it does have, you can see, it looks green, but the ink, when it dries, it turns more into that beige color. I don't know why it does that. It has a green tint to it, but then it dries and it's beigey. So I don't want to go too dark, just want to give that kind of illusion that there's like some sand in the background here. There we go. So you can see there's the green looking hue and there's the one that's dry. So I don't know why it does that. When I first got this, I was like, this looks green. Did I get the right ink pad? All right, we're also gonna keep our grid paper over here because we're gonna stamp our seagull, and this guy has the little French fries in his mouth. So we've got our scrap paper, and I'm not gonna do the pool party highlight on this one, but the same colors for his body, and then I'm using just the dark Daffodil Delight for the French fries. So his beak and his French fries will all be the same color. So the smoky slate, light smoky slate for the wings. And I've seen some people color the seagulls in with gray and kind of blend them, but seagulls are definitely white with gray on them. So I'll just leave them white with a strip of gray on their wings. And then our little French fries and his beak. I like how he's winking too, like a little mischievous guy. Now we're also gonna stamp the French fries box. We're gonna stamp that one twice, and still same, tuxedo black. And I chose red for this one because I wanted those French fry boxes to kind of pop out from the card. And so I'm gonna use I use light real red on this one for the box. I used the light one because the dark was just too dark, and you wanted to see that little hamburger still on the logo. And then same daffodil, dark daffodil delight for the French fries. There we go. And now we're gonna cut them all out. So again, they're very easy to fussy cut. So we're just gonna quick cut him out. Let's see. So is anybody excited for the Super Bowl coming up this weekend? I know we all like to watch it for the commercials. That's what I like to do. The snacks and the commercials. That's what I watched for. Although I think this one will be a good one. Kansas City and the Eagles. Didn't they play a couple years ago? I don't know. I don't follow NFL. I like college football better. So I'm just in it for the commercials. So there's our little seagull and our boxes. Oh, I have to tell you guys, I went to a really fun event on Saturday night. So I'm part of the military spouses group here, and they got tickets to go to The Price is Right live. So imagine the game show from TV, just if you went to watch it live. It was really fun. Now, I didn't get called up on stage. I was kind of sad about that. But they gave away prizes, like somebody won a trip to Dublin, and the final showcase was a car, 2 trips, one to Miami, one to the Bahamas, surfboards, some like underwater scooter thing, and that was it. But I think that their their actual retail price was way off. I don't think it was what they said. Okay, we're gonna stamp our seagulls on here. Oh, I need to clean them off from our last project. So we have our seagulls, and I'm gonna clean off, because I was using that pink Berry Burst before. And we also are gonna do some stamp off for this. So I'm gonna stamp the seagulls first, and then stamp off there to kind of get like they're flying away. And then we're gonna stamp off again over here. We're also gonna add on our I love you more than French fries. So I love you more, and then French fries. So I love you more is gonna go below our little sand. And then French fries, I have a piece of basic beige cardstock, just a fun little scrap, and we're gonna do French fries here. There we go. And now we can put it all together. So our background image is gonna go on with dimensionals. Come on, there we go. And because it's a larger piece, I wanted to add that dimensional in the middle. Yeah, Courtney, I like this one too. the little sentiment, the little guy with the French fries in his mouth. This is probably one of my favorites, although this is my favorite one this week. Our French fry stealing seagull is gonna go on with dimensionals, as well as the 2 boxes of French fries. And I'm gonna cut a dimensional in half for these because it's kind of small. There we go. There and there. So we're gonna put one going that way, the other going the other way. If I can get it. And then our sentiment piece, like I said, I just did this on a spare piece of paper. We're just gonna trim down, and I want that a little thinner, so I'm gonna cut that down. That's gonna go on with dimensionals as well. And we're gonna use one of these edge pieces. There we go. I love you more than French fries. And that is our last project today with our Friendly Seagulls stamp set. I like this one. Courtney said this one's her favorite. So let me know which one is your favorite this week. We have our French fry stealing seagull, our chip eating seagull, and then our little hey friend seagull there as well. So let me know which one is your favorite this week in the comments. We've got some really fun projects this week. All right, well, thank you everybody for joining me for another week of Makers Monday. I look forward to seeing you next week for more projects and more live step-by-step crafting. Until then, I hope you have